Tomorrow is Pearl Habor Remembrance Day, where we remember and honor those who made the ultimate sacrifice 81 years ago. Along with all of those who fought for our country during World War II, many of those people from Nebraska and in Seward. The impact is remembered every day. 3 News Now anchor Zach Williamson takes us there in this week's Mission Service.
This is Mission Service, sponsored by Barry Law.
Again, we have great stories and great ties to historical periods that people should know about. And so I love telling those stories.
Gerald Meyer, who goes by Jerry, has no shortage of stories to share at the Nebraska National Guard Museum in Seward.
The Nebraska National Guard is older than the state. So we were founded in 1854, where the state came around in 1867. So we have a lot of cool history to talk about. Take these machine guns and go.
And the historian wasted no time educating me on the impact the Nebraska National Guard has had on our country.
Earl Smiley was from Beaver Crossing. He was a Renaissance man, World War I pilot. A lot of people who know that William Jennings Bryan, the politician, but do you know William Jennings Bryan, the Nebraska National Guard colonel? Well, do you know the story of D-Day? Oh yeah, well do you know the story 45 days later at a place called St. Lo?
Jerry has made quite the impact himself as well.
I served 32 years in the military, and 13 of them were on active duty with the Army. So I did 3 deployments to Afghanistan. And so I got dinged up a little bit, so I came back and I put in for this job here for the Nebraska National Guard historian and got it in 2014. I've been here ever since. But you can learn a little bit more about each person here.
The museum has come a long way since it first opened in 2015. To say it's impressive would be a massive understatement. It's covered with stories and artifacts telling the history of the Nebraska National Guard and provides an immersive experience.
We don't get nice things like this unless we have great donors. And we do. The state of Nebraska should be very proud of the fact that you have the museum here, but you should also be very proud of people that stepped up to the plate and donated.
Before the state was even founded, 900 settlers made up the 1st Nebraska Regiment. They were pulled out to fight with the Union at the Battle of Fort Donelson, alongside General Ulysses S. Grant, forcing the Confederates to surrender.
We always say that the 1st Nebraska played a huge role in General Grant's career because had Grant not succeeded at Donelson, he'd been fired.
Fast forward to World War II. Nebraska's 134th Infantry Regiment made massive sacrifices in their 10-month journey that started with liberating St. Lo, France.
When we got into the line at St. Lo, our first day, Company C from Beatrice, 65% of their men were killed and wounded the first couple hours.
Every member of the regiment who made the sacrifice is honored.
There's 118 names on this wall here. Half of them are buried in France still, or Luxembourg, or places like that in Europe. They're still part of the American system, cemetery system there, but we go over and visit them every year.
That's right. Jerry and a group of others visit St. Lo every July to honor those heroes with the city and celebrate its Liberation Day on July 18th.
They're very, very, tuned in with the history of American heroes. We took a World War II veteran in 2019 for the 75th anniversary. He was treated like a rock star.
The boats the regiment arrived on at Omaha Beach, designed by Andrew Jackson Higgins, a Columbus, Nebraska native.
Eisenhower said, Andrew Higgins is the man that won the war for us. If he had not designed and built these boats here, we couldn't have gone over an open beach. The whole strategy of the war would have been different.
More than 20,000 of his LC-VP boats were used, and one of his boat designs was recently found in a lake in California. It will soon call the museum its new home. Another addition to educate and remind people of the impact the Nebraska National Guard has had on our country in its 168 years.
Nebraskans played a huge role in these conflicts. And you need to know about sacrifice. And when we talk about sacrifice, you can see the gold stars around the museum all the way up to today. Freedom isn't free. We always say that. Freedom isn't free. There is a cost, there is a payment to it. And Nebraskans have paid that price.
3 News Now anchor Zach Williamson says it truly is something you need to check out for yourself, along with the Andrew Jackson Higgins National Memorial in Columbus, the $1.5 million project that was spearheaded by Jerry and his former high school students in Columbus. The museum is free. For more information, you'll look for this story on our website. That's 3newsnow.com. And if there's a person or topic you think we should highlight, tell us. Email mission.service@3newsnow.com.